Yo, what is going on, traders, and welcome back to another video. It's been a bumpy ride already. Start of 2025, we've had our boy Donald Trump taking office. It's been a roller coaster ever since. But we got something quite special here for you guys today. We're gonna talk a little bit. We always show you guys the charts and you guys see the lifestyle and you see the stuff, but now we need to dive deeper. We need to dive what's on the inside, what makes you a trader, and why do we trade? So today we're going to start off, if you guys seen the thumbnail, 5 hard questions every trader needs to ask themselves, even now this year in 2025. But before we get into any of that good stuff, listen, if you may be a new viewer and you may be wondering, listen, who's this guy? If you guys don't know, I am Keegan van Dijk. I'm part of the 2Gs, myself and Chris. Now, a little backstory. I was once a barman. I was a barman trading on the side. And for example, with my story, I started trading, made a little bit of money here and there for the weekend. And eventually I made it big. I got funded. I had multiple withdrawals with some prop firms. And before you knew it, I had saved up enough money, about 2 years of my salary at a bar, and I made the leap of going full time. And even for myself, these were questions I had to ask myself. These are things I had to sit down and mentally prepare myself for, because I think, as we all know, trading is more psychological than anything else. So this is all things I have to do every year, every season. I like to revamp it and ask myself these questions, compare, go back to my answers and reanalyze what I was looking for. So let's get into it, guys. Number 1. Now we're going to start right from the beginning. Why do you want to start trading? Now, we're going to start here and right from the very beginning, because quite frankly, a lot of people are misinformed about what trading is. So if you're new to trading, and even if you being a trader, well, why do you still choose trading? Why do you want to be in here? Because it's a lot harder than what people think it is. It takes a lot more. There's a lot more sacrifice. I think guys see the reward, and trust me, there's a lot of reward to trading. You can be the highest highs you've ever had. You can be living the life. You can do all these things. But mentally, when you crack and when you break, you're going to go to lows you didn't know were possible. Trading will kick you down, and it will keep kicking you down if you don't learn from it. As much as it's an amazing industry to be in, it is definitely not for the weak. So make sure you got a genuine, and I want to say, you got to understand, you're going to be a little bit crazy if you want to get into trading, because trading, you're going to fail a lot, but you got to have that edge to never give up. So be real with yourself and ask yourself, why do you want to become a trader? Now, number 2, what do I want to achieve in trading a year from now? Now, we don't want to hear that BS and say, hey, a year from now, I want a Bugatti, or I want to be buying a jet, because that's just unrealistic. And quite frankly, that's not trading. What a lot of guys misunderstand and like to promote to people is trading opens doors. It's not the end all be all, but it's going to open the doors in the direction to get you to where you want to be, to becoming an entrepreneur, to starting your businesses, to running those dreams you've always wanted to do. But trading isn't going to be everything. I don't want to be 70 years old trading. So be real with yourself and say, listen, it's all about compound. So this year, where do I want to be sitting? A year from then, where do I want to be sitting? So be real with yourself. And when I say that, be real in trading, be serious and say, listen, I want to scale up to this amount with my account by the end of the year. Or I want to grow my funded portfolio to $1 million before the end of the year. Give yourself targets that are real. And the thing is, when you give yourself those targets, as the year goes on, as I said, you can go and reanalyze this and look at it and say, listen, I'm on track, I'm ahead of scale, or I'm behind schedule. And then you can start to make the corrections from there. Now, number 3, as much as we're going to talk about where you want to be in a year's time, just like trading, we've got to look to the past. So with number 3, we're going to talk about what habits held me back last year. Now, the same thing, if you are new, maybe not last year, but still to be real with yourself. And just like we always say to things, draw up a pros and a cons list. You can do the same here and just say, all right, I'm going to get into trading, but what do I think is a bad habit I'm going to have getting into trading? To my traders, what was a habit you had that prevented you from achieving these goals last year or held you back from achieving even more? Because quite frankly, once you can identify the problem, it's very easy to fix it and start moving forward and achieving those visions and goals you set out for. All of us sit here and go, listen, it's a bit hard. You want to point fingers, you want to blame the markets, you want to blame your broker, you want to blame this. But when it came down to, again, and it's natural human things, that's what makes trading so hard. These are all natural qualities all humans have. And that's impatience, greed, these type of things you've got to defeat and leave it at the door when you start trading. Because if you don't, they'll go in to destroy your trading. You've got to be able to understand those simple characteristics and identify them when you start going wrong with trading. Now, that brings us on to number 4. It sounds simple, but this is a real one. Again, you've got to be real with yourself and say, do I understand the markets I'm trading? Do I actually know the markets I'm trading? Or do I need to still invest in my education? Do I need to look at what I can do to better myself, still improve? Or is my ego in my head going to tell me, hey, you know everything, I'm the next Elon Musk? Like, be real with yourself here. Because this is what's going to make the difference for you. When you can put everything else aside and realize what you need to do to get better, nothing's going to stop you. Because this was something that was a little bit of a game changer for me. And hence, a lot of guys always ask me, Keegan, but why did you trade silver? Why didn't you trade German 30? Why didn't you trade S&P 500? Why didn't you trade EU? And it comes back down to this simple quote I heard. And it was, when people want to become an expert in a field. Now, understand when we say becoming an expert, that's a very, very difficult thing to do. And that could take years and years and years of work. But in what I'm doing, I don't need to become an expert in a field. I just need to become an expert in a topic. And hence, when I specialized and realized most of my success came in 2 pairs, for example, gold and USD, why do I then trade the pairs that make me lose money? Trade the pairs you know are going to make you money. And it's as simple as that. Now, lastly, number 5, are you surrounded by the right people? Society has always said, you're the value of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Now, if I'm surrounded by people that can't trade, are not good at trading, aren't successful traders, what does that make me? That means I'm not going to become a trader. I'm not going to achieve these visions and goals that I want. They always tell you, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you want to level up, if you want to grow, you've got to put yourself in those uncomfortable positions. There's a very famous story where it talks about this Indian man. He was a multi-millionaire. But again, greed got the better of him because he was surrounded by billionaires. And he wanted to get like them, and end of the story, he crossed certain lines to get there. But his whole vision, because he wasn't satisfied with already being above the 1-5% in the world, because he wanted to be like the people he was surrounded with. That drove his ambition to new heights with all that hunger. And that's what you need to do with yourself. Simple. If you don't want to get a mentor, someone you can grow from, see it as a friend. Get yourself a friend who's maybe living the life you want to live, who's achieved what you want to achieve, and learn from them. They've walked the journey you want to walk. So let them help you. Let them guide you. Today's world, people still misunderstand that I need to do this. I need to be the main character. I need to be the best trader. But there's more than enough in this world for everyone. You guys can sit there and go, surround yourself with the dream team. Surround yourself with the ones who want to see you win. Because when you get to the top, when you win, and this is what a lot of people won't tell you, is it's lonely up there. There are more people that rather will want to see you fall than people that want to see you succeed. When you're achieving, that applause is going to get softer and softer and softer the higher you go. So build yourself that community. Surround yourself with the right people, those that will look out for you, protect you, motivate you, and guide you to the top. Now, right, guys, this was something a little bit different. But as you guys know from myself, the way I trade, I always talk about people. There's 4 pillars when it comes to trading. And obviously you got technicals, you got fundamentals, you got sentimentals, and you got psychologicals. Now, this was a little bit more of the psychological one. Some of the hard questions you got to ask yourself. And sometimes we don't like the answer we're going to get, but it's the answers we need to hear. So if you guys are new, I hope you see you subscribe. I hope you guys see you in the future, because this is just the start. We're going to keep posting much more content related about these goals and visions of mine for the year and how I plan to achieve them. And I can bring you guys along for the ride, because as I said, we build that community that wants to win together. So let's have a great year. Let's start it off strong. I'm going to see you guys on the other side. And if you are new, join us Monday to Friday. We trade live for free for the community, for the people. So I'm going to see you there. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Peace and love, baby. Cheers.